Hello, Adam here. Thanks for joining me again. Today, I've got a nice little fall scene. It's got a barn, a wood line in the back, some fences, and a wagon wheel right here. But you know what? This is a painting you can do. I'm going to show you every brush, every color, and every technique for you to get it done. So let's just get to the video. Enjoy. Okay, like usual, I'm going to start with my 2-inch brush. I've already got a thin coat of liquid white on the canvas. All right, I got a 16 by 20 canvas. If you want to see how I put on the liquid white, I've got a video just for that you can check out anytime. All right, I'll take that 2-inch brush, same one that I used to put on the liquid white. I'm just going to get a little bit of Prussian blue. Not too much, just a little bit. And just right up here near the top. All right, I'll get a little more than that. But right up here near the top, I'm just going to kind of wisp in a little color. Just kind of a wispy little sky today. I'm going to have a fall scene. All right, let me wipe off a little bit of that excess blue now. I've always got paper towel sitting right down here just for that. And I'm just going to wisp this in. Not too concerned about the sky. All right, what I do want is I want it to be pretty light down in here. Okay, so just a wispy little fall sky today. Something like that's about all we really need. I'll set that brush down. I reach over and grab my palette knife. I'm going to mix up a little background tree color. All right. And again, this is a fall scene, so I'm going to take a little bit of brown and we're going to mix it in some red. I'm going to make a brownish red color. Okay, maybe a little more brown. There we go. And a little more. Okay, but just something about like this right here. We'll give that a try. I'm going to reach over and grab a 1-inch landscape brush. We'll just tap that in there gently. Okay. And let's come right up here. Somewhere about right here, we're just going to tap. All right, it's a nice fall brown color. Going to bring up some trees. Get a little more paint. And let's put a few trees right here. But you want this nice dark color against the light sky. Something that looks very, very good. I just reload as necessary. I'll make a whole row of trees here. Maybe this one comes up a little taller right there. Okay. All right, now just focus on the bottom. Just kind of tap the bottom out and make them a little lighter right down in here. Just a little bit. And all you got to do is tap. It'll blend with the liquid white that's already on the canvas. The more you tap, the lighter it will become. Sticking with that same brush, I'll get a little black, a little bit of brown. I'm just going to make a darker row of trees or bushes or whatever you want to call these. So right over, and let's start right here. There we go. Just a darker color. Having multiple colors in a wood line looks pretty good. Builds depth. Different layers. And that's all we're really doing right there. I'm going to reach over here and grab my liner brush. I'm going to dip into a little bit of liquid white. I've always got liquid white just kind of sitting right here. And I'll mix a little bit of liquid white into some titanium white. And we'll come up and pull just a little bit of this brown into that, just to make a light color. All right, now, I'm just going to roll my brush through the white here. And let's come right back up in here. We're going to make some light color tree trunks. For that, just bring it down. Just touching a few spots, lightly. Don't have to be overly concerned about it. All right, we can always go back and change some of those up. Sometimes it's easier to go upward, just depending on what you're doing. Okay. But I think these light colored trees look good. A lot of times we do dark colored trunks, but light color is also very prevalent in nature. Okay. We'll set that down and grab my palette knife again. And I'm going to mix up a orange color. So for that, I'll grab some red again. Come right down here into this yellow. So we got kind of a bright red and yellow. I'm wanting a nice, bright orange color. There we go. Want this painting to be colorful. Very colorful. We'll give that a try. Go back to my oval brush. All right, it's sideways. Just tap it in. Both sides. Get a good amount of paint on the brush. I'm even going to grab a little bit of liquid white just to thin it so it'll stick a little better. Okay, hopefully you can see that pretty good. And let's come up here to these trees. Right up here. Now just tap, just gently, on these trees. It'll cover up some of those trunks, but not all. Just reload as necessary. Nice, bright fall scene today. I don't have to hit all the trees. Just enough so we know it's mostly an orange row of trees. You let some of the tops stick up above the background trees. That's a nice effect. Okay, I'm going to stick with that same brush, get a little bit more liquid white, and just get a little yellow. Just changing the color up some. It won't be pure yellow. And we'll just put some varying colors in different spots. Most of the time when you look at a fall scene, you'll have more than one color in it. But mostly orange with a little bit of other colors. And I'll even take a little bit of green. I got some sap green right here, just using that exact same brush. And just in a couple spots. Let me get a little bit of liquid white so it'll stick. There we go. And again, just in a couple spots. We even have a few green trees still kind of sticking out a little bit. Don't need much with that. Just a little bit. Okay, let's be done with the wood line. I'll reach over and grab my 2-inch brush again, same brush I was using. And we'll mix up a little green, a little yellow, maybe even a little brown. Just a mixture of colors there. Okay. And once I like it, it's going to come right up here and just drag in some land. You can have different shadows coming out. All good. But just dragging it in helps push the tree line to the back. This will be like a little mid-ground right here. All kinds of different colors and tones. Just perfect. I'm just going to take this color and bring it on down. Not too worried about it. Don't care if it's a little streaky. Don't care if it's got some different tones of different colors in there. Different shades. Just getting a base coat of color on the canvas. I'll grab my palette knife. And as you saw, we're going to have a big old barn in this painting. So I'll just take my palette knife and just start to think about the shape of the barn. I think I'll start it somewhere right there. All right, hope you can see that. Just kind of putting in a shape. Okay. And maybe right here will be one edge of the barn coming down. Right here will be another edge of the barn coming down. We might even take this right here, make a little extension right there. All right, so that would bring this edge over into here. With these barns, buildings, stuff like that, take your time. I'm going to try to take my time on this today and give you a couple techniques that I think will help you. Okay, once you got it sketched in like that, we're gonna work on the roof. Now take the roof, let the roof on the back end be lower than the front end. got a little bit of a downward angle on it. Okay? All right, just sketching it in. Haven't even used any color yet. Sketching the whole thing in. Somewhere in there is going to be a wall. All right, and I think you can start to see the barn now. Okay, let me come up here and get some color. Now I'm just going to work with that same old color that I initially mixed up, that brown right there. So I'll get some color on the end of the knife. Just start to fill this in. All right, we're going to put some more color on top of this. This is just a base color for this side over here. And I bring it down a little further than where I think I'm going to need it. I'm going to make a little bit of a lighter color. Same color, just lighter. Just tint it some, that's all. All right, there's a little bit of a lighter shade of the same color. Same thing though. Start right here at that roof angle. Just bring it down. I'm gonna lighten it up even more here. That's all I'm doing, is mixing in a little more white. Okay. There we go. We'll just color in this entire extension over here. All right, notice how even though my knife is at an angle right here, I still pull straight down. No matter the angle of my knife, I pull it straight down. That takes a little getting used to. And if it's not perfect, that's okay too. Just dress up this edge a little. There we go. And I'll come up here and get some red. Same red right there. Same red. I'll put just a little brown in it just to mix it a little. But it'll be much more red than brown. All right, leave it marbled like that. Now I'm just going to come back over and just graze it. There we go. Same thing here. Just touch and graze lightly. This was an old red barn. Got a little paint on it, still left. You just keep mixing it, keep going over it till you like it. I'm going to stop about right there for now. We're not nearly done yet. We got to put a big old door in there and a roof on there and all kinds of stuff. But we can begin to think about the boards. All right, let me run this through a little bit of white. We may do this a few times, but just to begin to think about it. I ran that one through a dark color. We'll put some dark lines over here. Again, you might have to go over this several times. Really take your time. All right, let's put a roof on this thing. And for that, I'll get some white. And let's mix up a roof color right there. And a little black. Make a gray roof. Gray roof on a red barn looks pretty good. Make it a little lighter. I'll get some more white. Let's see what that looks like. Let's get a little roll on the end of the knife. Right here on the roof. Same thing, I'm just touching and just dragging lightly. Not all that concerned about it. When I'm done with my buildings, I normally come back and straighten the roof out, the walls out, all kinds of stuff. I may not do as much of that on this video for time's sake, but you get the idea. Just lay it in there. Don't worry about it too much. You can always come back. This part that's sticking down, just move it up some, straighten it out. Some more on the edge of the knife. And right here, kind of dragging it in. Just need to see a little gray right there. And right there. And again, when you mess up, just straighten it out. No big deal. You can always come back and rework everything. We're going to have some shadows underneath this part of the roof right here anyways. Okay. And speaking of shadow, I'll get a little bit of black, just a little on the end of the knife, and let's make a shadow right here underneath this part of the roof. It would definitely be darker right there. All right, we've got the sun coming from the right side. So this will be the shadow side of the barn. So we'll make it pretty dark at the top, and over on this side where there'd be a little bit of an eave sticking out, it'd be a little darker right there as well. All the way into there. Once you got a little paint on there, you can just go over it. Work it in a little. Go back with your knife and fix your board edges just till you like it. Okay? Let's do this. Let's put that big old barn door in there. That's going to help it come to life. So I'll get a good bit of black on my knife, and right about here, okay, just below the roof line, right about here, put in a big old barn door. There we go. And like everything else, I just go over this until I like the way it looks. Might have to reshape it multiple times. It's all good. You can even get some more black if you need to. Whatever you need to do so you're satisfied with your barn door. All right. I'm going to run my knife right through a little bit of white now. Come right up here on the edge. Just touch the edge and the top. Try to get a little bit of a shine on it. Doesn't need too much. I'm going to take a little bit of white, mix it in that gray roof color. That's what I'm doing right here. And I'm going to go back over this roof, put a little bit of a shine on it. There we go. Some shine coming in. Now you can see on the roof how it kind of angles downward a little bit towards the back. Makes a nice effect. Stick with that white. Just put a little highlight on the edge of the roof. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay, and again, all these little parts that you don't like, you can fix them easy enough. No big deal. And I'll redo my black shadow right here just a little. Redo my board lines. There we go. And with that, we'll set the palette knife down and work on the barn a little bit more later. Let me go back to my 2-inch brush. And right here at the bottom, all I'm going to do is just bring it out. Let the color come right out. No big deal. No big deal at all. We'll call that another plane in the painting. Helps to build depth. Now take that brush and come right back into some green and some brown. A little yellow, not much. Just getting something to make some grass with. Okay. And right here, we'll just pop up some grass. Comes right up around that barn. Same thing on this side right here. And all I'm doing is pushing and popping it up. Letting the grass come right up. Okay. You can take the bottom edge and pull it out. Make some shadows. Just kind of repeat that process. You're getting all kinds of grass and weeds in here. No big deal at all. Just wherever you want them. But the same thing. Pull out the bottoms. Let the tops stick up. All right, before I go too much further, I'm going to grab my brush that I use to put on these darker trees. And I just touch a little brown. And right here, we'll put a little path going to the barn. I'll even let the path come into the barn a little bit. And just bring this back and forth. And so you can do these paths with any sort of brush, really. You can do it with a fan brush, a 1-inch brush, it don't matter. Now just go back over it and just blend it in. You know, this whole area here is just kind of grass and dirt path. It just kind of all blends in together. Okay. Go back to my 2-inch brush. Let me put some more grass in here. Just popping it in. Letting it hang over the path a little bit. Take some green and bring it over in here. Just kind of blending the colors together. There we go. Same process. See, this is kind of an old field around a barn. Maybe there's animals in here that eat up a lot of this grass and trample it down. There's probably tractors going in there and all kinds of stuff. Just wherever you want some grass, put it in. That's all we got to do. Okay, I'll set that down. I'll go back to my liner brush. We're going to build a little fence by this barn. So for that, I'm just going to roll that. Same brush had a little white on it, just right through a little bit of brown. Not going to worry too much about the fence. But I'm just going to think about how tall would a fence be if that was a barn. And I think a fence would be something about like that there. Not too worried about shading or anything, just getting some boards on there. And we'll come to the other side and do the same thing. Just get some fence posts in here. A little bit of white that stayed on my brush is making some highlights automatically. Okay, and the same thing, I just start at the edge of the barn and just go across. Not too worried about this fence. I'll grab my filbert brush now, right into some black. Black and a little brown. All right, and right here out of this clump of weeds right here, let's make a tree. Right about here. We'll let it wiggle its way up there. Okay. I'm a little wider there at the base. I'll set that down, go back to the liner, roll the liner through a little bit of dark color. It's just ivory black. And let's put some more branches on this thing. I just kind of let them wiggle their way up the canvas. Okay. I like this side. This is the shadow side of the tree, so we'll make that nice and dark. Just let the branches come up and get thinner and thinner. That's all we got to do. All right, let's leave this tree something about like that for now. I'll grab my palette knife, get a little bit of titanium white, and we'll highlight this side of the tree right here. All right, this is the highlight side. Just touch it in a few spots. I'll wipe it out and go back and just kind of beat it up a little, scratch it up a little, bring some of the white into the dark. There we go. Kind of give it a rounding effect. We might come back and put some more highlight on that later. All right, let me go back to my 1-inch landscape brush, get a little black, a little brown, and just some of that dark color. And right up here, I'm going to focus on the tips of the branches. That's where I'm going to kind of touch and put some leaves. Not just going to put leaves all over. Tips of the branches, that's kind of what I'm looking for. That will help keep it looking and feeling natural. And then right here in some of these areas where branches come together, put a couple more. Okay? That's all we really need for that tree. Go back to my oval brush. Get a little bit of liquid white, just a little, not too much. Let's come into that red color. Get some more of the bright red. There we go. And just tap it a few times so I feel like I got the right amount of paint. Come up here, just tap. Making a nice, bright fall red color. All of the dark does not have to be covered up. Just lightly tap it. Lightly tap it. Nice bright area right there. Looks super good. All right, let's be done with that tree for now. Come down here and grab my liner brush again. Haven't even really cleaned it. Just going right through some of that brown color. Just want to roll it to a good point. It's kind of a dark brown. Okay. Right here at the base of this tree. Put in a little wagon wheel. For that, just kind of make a circle. Put a couple spokes in it. Not sure exactly how many spokes are in a wagon wheel, but I'll put that many in it. Come back to my liquid white color here. Just getting a little bit of liquid white on the liner brush and right here at the top. Put a little bit of highlight. That's really all you need. I'll go back to my 2-inch brush, get a little bit more of that grass color. And we'll just hide the front edge of the tree and that wagon wheel right there. Pull that on out. Same process. Pull the shadow out. And we'll continue on here with some more grass. Very simple. Come over here and finish off this corner. Same thing down here. A little bit darker there on the foreground. That looks good. I'm going to go back to my filbert brush. Get a little black. I want these fence posts to be pretty dark. And right here, we'll just put one little fence post. Kind of a old rickety deal right there. Give them a couple boards. Do the same thing over here. How about right here? Just a couple. All you got to do, give them some boards. Too easy. You grab my palette knife, get a little bit of white. And right here on this side, again, this is the highlight side. Just touch it. That's all you got to do. Just kind of touch and drag it across. Give it some highlight. Same thing on the top. Don't have to be too particular about it. Okay. So let me go back to my 2-inch brush. And we'll bury the bottoms of these in grass as well. That's all you got to do. Just push. Pop in some grass. Pop in some color. Set that down, go to my liner. Just roll that through some green. It had some black on it. And maybe right here by the post, be a couple taller weeds coming up that we can see. There we go. There's 1 or 2 coming out from right here as well. Don't need too many, just in a couple spots. All right, let me go back to my palette knife. Let's get some more of that gray color. Right here on the roof. You know, different spots where it may not have turned out so great. You can just fix it. No big deal. Cover up some of that shine. It's a little too shiny down there. Go back and straighten up all these little parts of the roof. Really is a very simple process. Push that point up a little better. Get a little more black over here. Just to make a better shadow right there. Just lightly touching. Working that shadow and that eave. Okay. That looks a little better. Again, we can always go back and scraping the boards over that to bring it all together. All right. And with that, I think we'll call this painting complete. I really hope you enjoyed this painting. I hope you'll give it a try. And until next time, remember, if I can paint, you can too. See you next time.